Well, joining us now is Monsignor Fay. He's familiar to viewers from his previous appearances. I think he might be on more than me, and presiding at the daily Mass. And he is joined by Pope St. John the 23rd, first-year seminarian, Brian.
Yes.
Brian Delaney. Guys, thanks so much for being with us today.
Thank you, Jay.
And Monsignor, always great to see you.
Good to see you,
and
Jay.
Brian, welcome.
Thank you. Great being
TV.
here.
Monsignor, we recently spoke with actor Mark Wahlberg about the new movie based on real life. We just saw it, Father Stuart Long, who was called to ministry at a later age, 30 years old. Tell us how the formation differs at a later stage in life.
It's a very different kind of thing. Most seminaries in the country are for younger guys who graduated from college or maybe a few years after that. And these fellows come to us anywhere after 30 years of age, all the way up to near 70, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah, and the formation is different in this way. These men have a peer relationship with each other that's different from men in their 20s. There's something that happens when someone gets to be about 30, 32, 35. Life is settled for them in a way that it isn't for the younger guys. So we approach that in a very different way with them. Adult learning, spirituality, they get essentially the same things, but it's brought to them in a very different way.
Yeah, I have to tell you, I'm a big fan of the seminary. I know Father Kiley, who's up there as well, and we were talking before of all the guys that both of us know throughout the years.
Exactly, yeah, yeah.
Great bunch of guys up there.
Yeah,
and students too. And Brian, you're one of them. You got to tell me your story about your vocational call, because I always find these so interesting.
Sure. My first vocation was marriage. I'm a widower.
I didn't know that, by the way. I made sure we didn't talk much beforehand, because this is going to surprise me. Wow.
Yep, was married for 36 years. But you know, when I was younger, something just hit me, Jay, and 24 years old, I started to get involved, you know, with the church, and get involved with religious education and various ministries, and it just kept rolling. And over the years, something just kept kind of hitting me in the back of the head, saying, you know, well, let's keep going, let's keep going, let's keep going. So, you know, here I am, 37 years later. You know, in the good Lord just asked, you know, kind of asked me, you know, are we going to stop here? We're going to keep going. You know, I felt that I was being called, you know, for something more, you know, more stewardship, you know, here I am. It's kind of interesting, because a couple of years ago, my parish pastor just said to me, we were in the sacristy after Mass one day, and he turned to me and looked and said, "Brian, have you ever thought of the priesthood or the diaconate?" And that just kicked things off and got things rolling, more of a formal, you know, formation and discernment. And, you know, here I am.
What were the people's reaction? What were your friends' reaction when you went back out and you said, you know what, I think I'm going to try this?
Well, so it was an interesting mix. There were those that said, "I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised." And then there were a few that said, you know, you just retired. You could be doing many things right now, going many different places, and, you know, you sure about this? Yes, the good Lord said yes, and I said yes.
And I know for you, Monsignor, in our conversations before, it's such a great fit for you. Tell me some of the things you do over there, and what, if there is, a typical day would be like over at the seminary.
The days start usually with prayer in the morning or Mass, and the guys go into studies. They have an opportunity to take different courses. They have a chance to relax, recreate, and study in the afternoon, and the evenings are quiet times. My work is as a professor. I teach Catholic bioethics, Catholic social doctrine, fundamental theology, and I love it. I love to teach. It's just a great experience. And then I'm involved in directing them, helping them to realize this is what the priesthood is all about. Reach for it.
Right. And for you, Brian, when you first got there and you're at the seminary and you go to your first few classes, what was your thought process at that point? Were you saying, well, here we go, and has it been everything you had hoped it would be?
First of all, I'm going to say yes, it is everything I had hoped it would be. You know, you have an idea walking in, but you're not 100% sure. You know, the formation, living in community, Being in a more matured individual, out of school for 30 years, so, but it has been an absolute wonderful experience.
I like when you say a more mature, because I'm a more mature
There you
individual
go.
too. We're running out of time, Monsignor, but we call it's a national seminary. What does
It
that
is.
mean?
It's the only one of its kind in the country, and it's though it's staffed by Boston priests by and large, it's open to every diocese, even in the world. We have people from Australia, Canada, lots of different places.
And we are all over the world now, Catholic TV. Yeah. So if someone was interested in this, is there a location, a website? They just go to a website?
They want to go to www.psjs.edu.
Okay, and I'm going to break some news here because we're going to the news in a second. We're going to have a podcast coming out.
Podcasts
soon,
are coming out from Pope St. John Seminary. Look forward to them. A lot of good things are going to be there.
Hey guys, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank
so
you.
much.
Such a pleasure having you here.
Great, thank you.
Kevin.